On the second day of March 1975, Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, a member of parliament for Nyandarua, went missing without a trace. His body was later found in Nairobi City Mortuary. Who wanted the member of parliament dead and why the government was covering up his death were questions on the minds of all Kenyans. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Political Takedowns. My name is Yusuf, and today we are going to look into the highly controversial case of the third political assassination in Kenyan history. Born in Kabatini town in the Rift Valley province of Kenya in the year 1938, Josiah Mwangi Kariuki was the only boy in a family of 5 siblings. He was the son to Kariuki Kigani and Mary Wanjiku. JM Kariuki briefly enrolled in Everson's day school, but dropped out shortly due to the lack of school fees. After some years, he re-enrolled himself to school with money he got after winning a bet on a horse at Nakuru races. All this while, he was working on a European settler's farm. JM Kariuki attended many primary schools and will finish his primary school education in the year 1950. Later on, he joined King's College Budo in Uganda's Wakiso district for his secondary school education. He graduated from secondary school in October of 1952, came back to Kenya and joined the Mau Mau uprising. JM Kariuki served as a Mau Mau liaison officer between Eldoret and Kisumu. He also helped in soliciting money, boots, and housing for Mau Mau. These activities led to his arrest and detention by the colonial government in the year 1953, and he will get released in 1960 after spending 7 years in detention. When Kenya became independent, Jomo Kenyatta, the first president, appointed JM Kariuki as his private secretary, a position he held between 1963 and 1969. The relationship between Kenyatta and JM started to spoil in the early 1970s, as JM had started to heavily criticize Kenyatta's government. He accused the government of unfair distribution of land and gross misconduct. The Kenyatta-led government had failed to provide drought relief. There was a high level of corruption, and the economy was badly mismanaged. In one scenario, the UK government gave the Kenyatta government funds to buy back land from European settlers. The land bought back was never redistributed to the Kenyans who were displaced. Rather, Kenyatta gave it as a gift to his family members and friends and used the remaining to bribe and influence political allies. Jomo Kenyatta felt like the father of the nation and the only man who deserved the biggest piece of cake on the plate, even if it meant others going hungry. He had surrounded himself with government officials filled with personal interests who would watch with a smile as the country fell into darkness as long as their pockets were filled. When these people noticed that JM Kariuki was gaining popularity among the common folk and was almost overshadowing Kenyatta, they started making plans with the self-proclaimed father of the nation to destroy JM Kariuki. At first, they had just the intention to destroy him politically. So, when the 1974 elections came by, they did everything in their power to ensure that JM doesn't get elected the member of parliament for Nyandarua. All their efforts went to waste as JM won the elections smoothly. His position as a member of parliament now gave JM Kariuki a good platform to speak his mind, making his enemies more and more furious. After just 1 year of him holding the position of Member of Parliament for Nyandarua, the people who didn't like him couldn't take it anymore. They now started planning on eliminating JM Kariuki, and they wouldn't keep it a secret. JM Kariuki started receiving death threats up to the point where he knew for sure that he was living on borrowed time. Somewhere in February 1975, Josiah Mwangi Kariuki started to feel pain in his leg. This led him to go see a doctor, and while he was there, the doctor explained to him that his leg hadn't fully recovered from injuries he had sustained in the past, and since he was living in a cold area, the cold temperatures were the ones causing the pain. He was advised to go stay at a warmer place for a while till he fully recovers. JM decided to travel to the coastal region of Kenya, where the weather is oftenly hot. He went to OTC right after the doctor's visit and booked a ticket for the 1st of March. When he went back home, immediately he entered the house. He received a phone call, and the person on the other end warned him that he was being followed by officers from the special branch during the whole day, and they knew his plans and they might do something to harm him. Without telling anyone, JM Kariuki aborted his plans to travel. On the 1st of March 1975, the bus that JM Kariuki was to travel on exploded just moments before its departure. 27 people died on the spot as a result of the blast. On the 2nd of March 1975, Josiah Mwangi Kariuki received a phone call from Ben Gedhi, who he considered a friend, and was the GSU commandant. He left, but before that, he told the workers at his place that he was off to meet Ben Gedhi. That was the last time for JM Kariuki to be seen alive, as his body was found 10 days later, lying in Nairobi City Mortuary. The body had been picked from Ngong forest, where it had been found by a herdsboy. The hands were chopped off, eyes gouged out, and face burnt with acid. What had really happened to JM Kariuki remains a mystery up to date. What Kenyans believe is that the Kenyatta-led government had something to do with it, because throughout the 10 days that JM was missing, and even after his body was found in the mortuary, the government was playing games to cover up the murder. When JM was reported missing by his family, the government, through the then Vice President Daniel Arap Moi, addressed the public and informed them that JM had traveled to Zambia to meet his friend. His family rebucked this statement because JM's passport was still at home, and when the friend in Zambia was called, he denied seeing JM over there. The same government tried to sneak out the body of JM Kariuki with a tag of an unknown Luo gangster, but this plan failed too. JM Kariuki was buried, and afterwards, the government set up a commission of inquiry led by Elijah Mwangale. The commission did their investigation with a lot of dedication, finding every detail concerning the murder of JM Kariuki. In their minds, they were thinking that the perpetrators will be brought to book. Unfortunately, before publishing their work, Jomo Kenyatta ordered the names of people who were close to him to be removed. It isn't really clear what had happened to JM Kariuki while in the hands of Ben Gedhi, because the original report of the investigation never saw the light of day. Some publications state that Ben Gedhi shot JM Kariuki twice while preventing him from shooting a special branch officer who had slapped him during an interrogation. Ben Gedhi, together with the special branch officers, dumped the body of JM Kariuki at Ngong Forest. This narrative might be appealing, yes, but it doesn't explain the chopped off hands, the gouged out eyes, and the acid poured on JM's face. That's it for today. Thank you for watching the Insight Edition. My name is Yusuf. Stay blessed and see you on the next one.